My name is Hazel. I'm sitting in an old oak chair in my mother's living room, the late afternoon sun casting long shadows through the window. The room is filled with a quiet calm, a stark contrast to the storm that raged through my life not long ago. It all started on that fateful day at the small church in Willowbrook, a town where I'd spent most of my life. I was standing there, numb, in a black dress that felt like a second skin, tightened by the stress of months of sleepless nights and constant worry. In front of me was the white casket of my 9-year-old son, Leo. It was covered in sunflowers, his favorite, the simple dream of planting them in our garden forever unfulfilled. The air in the church was thick with stifled sobs and the murmur of prayers. I was trying so hard not to break down, my hands clenched so tightly that my knuckles turned white. And then, my phone vibrated in my purse. Part of me wanted to ignore it, but curiosity got the better of me. I glanced at the screen, and my heart dropped. There was my husband, Ethan, smiling brightly beside a young brunette in her mid-20s. They were on a beach, drinks in hand, with the ocean and a clear blue sky behind them. A message said, "Hazel, thought you should know what your husband is up to today." A concerned friend. My mother, Lily, noticed my shaking and whispered for me to stay calm. How could I? Ethan, who had promised to stand by me through thick and thin, was off having a good time while I was burying our only child. Whispers spread through the church, and I could feel the pity and curiosity in people's eyes. I stuffed the phone back in my purse and forced myself to stand tall. My mother-in-law, Vera, stepped up to me. Her voice was sickly sweet but cold as ice. "Hazel, maybe you should have taken better care of Leo. If you'd put him first, this might not have happened." I was furious. "Stop it, Vera. You know how hard Leo fought. And where was Ethan when our son needed him?" She shrugged it off, saying we were all heartbroken and I shouldn't let my emotions take over. That night, after everyone had left, I went into Ethan's office. His usually neat desk was a mess. I started going through the papers and found a folder labeled Life Insurance, Leo Miller. My hands trembled as I opened it. The original beneficiary was me, but my name had been scratched out and replaced with Ethan's, the change made less than a month ago. The next day, as I took Leo to the cemetery for the last time, I felt an urge to dig deeper. Back in Ethan's office, I found another file about property transfers. My signature was forged, and several properties that were once ours had been transferred to Ethan alone. That evening, I got a message from an unknown number. "We need to talk. Meet me at the coffee shop on Elm Street. Ava." I remembered seeing that name in Ethan's emails. I was hesitant, but thought of Leo's hopeful eyes and decided to go. At the coffee shop, Ava showed me evidence of Ethan's casino visits, his debts to loan sharks, and a recording of him and Vera plotting to take advantage of my father, Henry, who had been in a confused state since Leo got sick. Ava said she was also a victim of Ethan's lies and wanted to help me fight. We decided to seek help from our family lawyer, Mr. Carter. He was in his late 60s, with a kind face and sharp eyes. He told us that Leo had a trust fund set up by Ethan's grandfather, which protected Leo's assets from Ethan's schemes. The confrontation happened at Mr. Carter's office. Ethan, Vera, and Ethan's brother, Ryan, walked in with an air of confidence. Ethan mocked me for trying to expose them. Mr. Carter presented our evidence, but Ethan pulled out a folder of fake financial reports, trying to frame me and my mother for money, laundering, and tax evasion. I was devastated, but then my mother came to the rescue. She had been suspicious of Ethan for a long time and had hired someone to gather evidence. She showed me photos of Ethan's shady deals and recordings of his and Vera's conversations. She also had documents signed by my father transferring all the property to the trust for me and Leo before Ethan could do anything. The final showdown took place at my mother's house. Ethan and Vera came in, demanding that I sign the property transfer. I played the recording of their plot, and just then the FBI agents and the town sheriff entered. They arrested Ethan and Vera for financial fraud, insurance fraud, and conspiracy to commit theft. The trial was held on a sunny spring day. The courtroom was filled with townspeople. Ethan and Vera were found guilty, and sentenced to prison. Ryan, who admitted his role as an accomplice, got a lighter sentence for cooperating. A week later, we announced that Leo's trust fund, almost $3 million, would be donated to a local pediatric cancer foundation and used to help struggling families in Willowbrook. Now, as I sit here, looking out at the garden where Leo wanted to plant sunflowers, I feel a sense of peace. I've learned that the greatest strength is not in seeking revenge, but in protecting the love and values that matter most. Leo may be gone, but his spirit lives on in the good we do.